Hello, welcome to Bloodhaus, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkel.
And I'm just a misunderstood deep sea dweller, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome to another week of Bloodhaus.
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning. I am so tired. Oh, I'm so tired.
It's like we're at church. It's like very early Sunday morning. I still, all these years later, and I know that I talked about this before. I know that you don't know what this reference is, but I still think of Nancy Pelosi saying, "Good morning, Sunday morning," the weird way that she did many years ago.
It is our Sunday morning ritual, and it is good to have.
Yeah.
I just, we're in the middle of October Halloween season, so there's a lot going on. A lot of parties, a lot of shindigs, a lot of events, and a lot of trying to balance my time so that I can rest as well.
Speaking of shindigs, what a great party you had this week. I loved it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a good time.
I did.
We just wanted to invite people over to the new house since we really haven't had people over. So thank you so much for helping us move in.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you so much for coming over. And I owed you a book and some movies for doing so.
Yes, thank you for both Conan movies on VHS. But to tell you what I appreciated about that party is that I brought like very expensive, very cool, non-alcoholic liquor.
Did, and it was delicious.
I always come packing because I'm sober and I don't expect people to have stuff like that because it's expensive to have a big party and to provide beer and wine and liquor and all that sort of stuff. And I get it. So I was bringing it myself. And then I get there and they're like, oh, no. We have all kinds of like non-alcoholic drinks. And I was like so impressed because that's generally not the case.
Oh, thank you. We very much wanted that to be the focus of the party this time. Was that like I've thrown many a party in the past, especially Halloween parties, where it's like, people come to get shit-faced and then you feel bad for a week. And like there are some fun holiday-themed cocktails. It's fun to make like a bright green drink in a syringe and get old Stuart Gordon with it. But like we really were like a lot of our friends are sober. A lot of our friends don't drink. The people who do drink, we can have a bottle of wine or two. Additionally, people might bring alcohol themselves. So like all week I was like brainstorming and like experimenting with like stuff to make mocktails, and then I also brought like some pre-canned mocktails as well as like simple like bitters and like just like flavors and like juices and things like that to make drinks. And mostly there was like a non-alcoholic lavender mojito that was kind of the main drink, and it was very tasty,
really good.
And I was very, very like thrilled when I saw that non-alcoholic spirit that you brought because it was delicious.
I live a block away from a Bevmo, which I'd never stepped into, of course, because I'm sober. But then I was going to your party and I was like, I wonder if they have like non-alcoholic spirits there. Duh. I decided to Google it. And of course they do. They have a whole section of it. I've like lived here for 2 years and I never thought to look there. I was thinking at your party once I saw that when I was living in Brooklyn and I was young, I was maybe like 26. I visited LA for the first time because they were doing a play of mine here. And my friend Sarah, who lived here, was like, oh, meet me at this house party in Silver Lake. And I was like, cool. And I was like 2 hours late because I was out drinking and I had bought some cocaine, as I was wont to do at that time. And so I was really drunk and I had all this cocaine with me. And I was like, cool, I'll share this with Sarah at the party. And so I go to this party and everyone's giving me dirty looks. And it's this beautiful house party in Silver Lake with a pool, and everyone is so chic, and it's the 2000s, so everyone's like a hipster with shaggy hair, and I was like, this outfit right in here, but I don't fit in. Everyone's giving me such dirty looks, and at some point someone tells me that it's a sober house party, and I was like, who's ever heard of such a thing? Like, that it never even occurred to me that like such a thing could exist at that time in my life. And I was like, this is the most LA bullshit thing I've ever heard of in my life.
You need alcohol to even like be around and stand other people. Like
it was like, give me back to New York pronto.
it was funny after it was a great time, and I'm so grateful to everyone who came. And then the next day, Ivor and I took it easy, and then we went to another friend's who was doing like a paper mache crafting a Halloween party. And after that, we were leaving a little late, and we're driving back home, and Ivory was just like, I really appreciate not drinking at a house party that we throw because I don't feel like death the next day. And I was like, welcome to our 30s.
Yeah. I love that it kind of divided into your friends and Ivory's friends at some point. And I was in your room, of course, and everyone was talking about Pasolini and Yorgos Lanthimos. And then I left and I put on my shoes by the door, and I saw Ivory and all of her friends who were sitting on the floor doing crafts.
Yep. I mean, I will say there was commingling.
Yeah, there
frequently.
was.
However, at a certain point in the evening, Ivory was like, "Oh, there's crafts up front. I brought all this stuff." Like she like pre-painted little coffins during the week and had people like decorating them and stuff like that. People had like printed out like gay like hentai anime and stuff and was like gluing it inside of them. And, like shit like that. Anyway, it was a good time. You know, there was Hammer movies on the TV and goth music playing, and I was, you know, I'm very happy with the new house that I live at. I'm very, very, very pleased. I was very excited to share with people, and I cannot believe how many fucking human beings fit inside of it. So, I had a great time. Thank you so much for coming.
It was so fun. And
my voice is raspy this episode because of it.
Yeah.
Much talking and much yelling. But it's not the only time I saw you this week, because we also went to the movies this week.
We did.
It's been a long week.
Yeah. I saw both of my favorite movies in the entire world this week in the theater, and one of them was with you.
One of them was with me. We went to go see maybe your favorite movie in the entire world, which I had never seen, which has been a long-running thing on this podcast that's been mentioned. And every time it comes up, I'm like, I'll get to it, I promise. And I finally got to it. I was sandwiched between you and Ivory at the AMC in Burbank to see both of y'all's favorite movie, The Dark Crystal.
The Dark Crystal. It was so fun. I know that it's like not your favorite kind of movie. And I could feel you bringing your generosity to the experience.
That's
very kind.
That sounds mean. I really like the movie.
No, not at all. I didn't mean it to be mean.
I mean, maybe fantasy stuff is not my bag, or it's not at least my background, I'll say. In the same way that it is for you, that it is for Ivory, that it is for a lot of my friends. I recently went to a concert with a friend of mine, and in the car, he was bringing up, you know, growing up on Lord of the Rings novels and stuff like that. And I was just like, didn't have it. Wasn't for me. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, like, I tried. Like, not for lack of trying. But, like, I really love The Dark Crystal. It's
beautiful.
It is so stunning. And the, like, technical feat of even creating it, which because it's Jim Henson and Frank Oz, and it's all puppets. There's not I guess I should say all Muppets. There's not a human being in the room.
And not only that, there's nothing like Lord of the Rings. There's nothing like borrowed from mythology like elves or dwarves. It's like everything is made from scratch. The world of Thra, which is the world where it's set. Like every single thing about it, plants, animals, everything from bottom up is made from this team.
And that's the stuff I enjoyed the most. Like when they're like out in the swamps and stuff like that, and there's just like random creature suit. I was like living. I love her little like I guess I can't say bog, but Vizgig, the best. And he's like second row of teeth.
Yeah.
Cutest little monster in the whole wide world. I want him. I want a little plushie of him. He's the cutest thing ever.
You would love the prequel series because there's like a whole like pack of those, and one of them has an eye patch.
Cute. Oh my god.
It's really cute.
Oh my god. It was so fun to see it too in a theater because A, it's gorgeous and seeing it huge, but also seeing it in a theater means almost every single person in that theater is a like lifelong fan of this movie.
Yeah.
And so as soon as certain characters like Chamberlain show up on screen, people immediately start laughing, even though like nothing's really happened with the character yet. So I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on with this? And as soon as Frank Oz goes, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're locked in, we're set.
He's such a delightful villain.
But like, is he a villain? He's trying to help.
He's not really, though. He's a backstabber.
Yeah, he is. He's a little piece of shit who gets undressed. He gets a dressing down, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like so striking to the degree that the Skeksis are Republicans. You know what I mean? Like, they're just backstabbing. They want to like extract from the planet to live forever. They, just like, I don't know. Although I have to say, maybe it was last year when Chuck Schumer was like, "We stand with Israel. We stand with Israel." I was like, this is the Skeksis going, "We will live forever. We will live forever."
Yeah.
So Democrats aren't off the hook either.
I was going to say what's the opposite race? The
Mystics.
The Mystics could be, which like the lore of the movie is that they are one half of the same coin, but like the Mystics also just kind of like lay around and don't do anything. Yeah. And you're like, oh, the Democratic Party.
Democrats. Both are like the gerontocracy that control everything.
Woo! And if only we can get them merged back together into one being who is also visually terrifying.
Who will like leave the planet and go back to outer space where they came from.
Yeah, it's very like leave the planet energy.
Yeah. You would love the book The World of the Dark Crystal, which is an art book by Brian Froud, which is just a collection of sketches of like weird little animals and plants and like.
And what if I told you we have it?
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure. Yeah.
I got it for Ivory for Christmas like a year or two ago.
It's gorgeous.
She has like a whole library of Brian Froud books at this point. Like,
yeah, me too.
They're so stunning. And that was honestly my first exposure into Dark Crystal, other than like hearing about it from you guys. I had like no frame of reference because the posters for it is always just a crystal. And I was like, I don't know what this is.
Actually, the vintage illustrated posters are actually quite beautiful if you haven't seen them.
The vintage illustrated poster, that's like the crystal big in the sky and then
with like the characters around.
It doesn't have the characters on it. The one that I'm looking at. It's
just like I have one that's like
big dramatic sky behind it and then the like castle off to the side. But I think there's a few. There's like definitely a few of them. There's the like I think, there's the one that's like a big, like, aged parchment paper, and then there's like the big Skeksy up top, and then, there's that one too. But that's like big, like, purpley, maybe it's a teaser poster that's just like the crystal is fucking gorgeous, and I really love it. I love 80s airbrush posters. God fucking damn it.
They're so good.
But all that to say is I'm really glad that I saw Dark Crystal for the first time at 29. And in a theater and with you two, because I appreciated it so much and I loved it so much. And had I seen it as a child when I saw the Muppet movies,
really scary.
I would have been traumatized.
Yeah, it's very scary. It did scare me a lot as a kid, but I just liked being scared, I guess. And it's also a sad movie. Cool. There's a genocide and there's slavery, and it's got some really heavy themes.
For kids.
Yeah.
I really loved it, but like how much like Janice from the band in the Muppets scared the shit out of me.
Did she really?
Janice and Dr. Teeth and all of those Muppets who like they have like big bushy eyebrows, but they don't have like an eye at all. Would like in like Great Muppet Caper and in the Muppet movie scared me so much when I was a kid because my mom made us watch like those two and Muppets Take Manhattan like in one day. Yeah. And I had Muppet based nightmares for like 10 years after. And it took me until like 2 or 3 years ago to finally like revisit the Muppet movies and be like, oh no, they're amazing and adorable and I love them.
Delights.
So
Have you watched Labyrinth?
I saw Labyrinth in college
You
because
should
I was a big
rewatch
David
that.
Bowie fan.
Yeah, that's another Brian Froud joint.
Yes, I
And
like Labyrinth quite a bit.
yeah,
I think I like Dark Crystal more.
Dark Crystal's way better, but
Yeah.
Labyrinth is a more casual, more fun watch than the Dark Crystal.
Yes, I think that's why it was like my first like stepping stone back into
Yeah.
feeling comfortable with Muppets.
Yeah.
Even though even in college I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
I might be wrong. Maybe it's not a Brian Froud joint. I can't remember. Maybe it's not, but it has the Dark Crystal, more of a Dark Crystal aesthetic than
It is. It's much more fantasy. It's much more dark. Yeah. Let me see. Did Brian Froud work on Labyrinth? Brian Froud, in fact, worked on Labyrinth.
Yeah, it has his stamp on it. Don't you think? Don't you think it does? We've verified it.
The book. It's based on the book he wrote called "The Goblins of Labyrinth."
Oh,
that he wrote with Terry Jones from Monty Python.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah, The Dark Crystal fucking rules, and thank you so much for going to see it in the theater with us.
You should watch the prequel series. It's really astonishingly good.
Ivory was like preaching about it before the movie started and like was railing against Netflix for canceling it after a single season.
It's really beautiful because it's pre-genocide, right? So you get to see all like the Gelfling society and like how they lived with the Skeksis, and it's really quite good. I watched a really cool movie that's on theme kind of with the movie we're talking about today. And I don't know why I watched this or how I watched this, but it was kind of in the stew of our Universal rewatch. And I just wanted to watch something that was like from another country that kind of fits in the mix of this. So I was looking at Japanese movies.
Oh.
And I watched this movie, Matango. Have you seen this?
Oh, the mushroom people.
Yeah. Here in the States, originally it was called Attack of the Mushroom People. It's from 1963, directed by Ishiro Honda, who is known for directing like kaiju. What's that word that I'm looking for?
Kaiju movies. I mean,
kaiju
Godzilla.
Movies. Yeah, Godzilla. It's really weird. Super stylish, like a lot of like I don't know, like it's like rich people on a yacht in the beginning, and it feels very Gilligan's Island. Like each person is an archetype, and they're listening to the radio and like doing the twist, and then it's like a very obviously fake set. You know what I mean? And then there's a big storm, and they crash on a desert island, and the desert island is like radioactive or something, and it has all these mushrooms, which are like, once you start eating them, you turn into a mushroom and become like a killer mushroom person. So it's got the same vibe as like, like an atomic 50s, 60s horror movie, except it's Japanese. It's very psychedelic, really over the top styling. A lot of the same horror beats as Creature from the Black Lagoon, about like, a creature stalking from the jungle into a campsite. I loved it. I thought it was so cool. It looks phenomenal.
It is such a cool movie. It's streaming on the Criterion channel now.
That must have been why I watched it. I must have come upon it while I was on the Criterion app.
Yeah, I think they have the rights to it. So like, Criterion, please release Matango soon. Good fucking.
Do you know what I think it was? I think it's in the new body horror collection.
That would be it.
And I've seen everything else in that collection, so I was like, oh, this one I haven't seen.
Weird mushroom people, let's go.
Yeah.
This was a movie that when I first moved to LA, I was living with a roommate who was like really obsessed with like cult movies and like lost films, and spent a lot of his time like tracking down like torrents of like lost and hard to find movies as much as humanly possible. And like Matango was one that was in like one of those like psychotropic film guidebooks, and had like no American release, and he at some point obtained a bootleg, and we watched it at some point in like a dingy Koreatown apartment. And it's so, I was like prepared to be really freaked out by it, and it's like it is very upsetting, but it's also so goddamn cool.
It's really cool. The style is so good. And the costumes, the mushroom people costumes are so different than what we would have done in the States. They're very arty. They look like if you saw someone at like Comic-Con wearing that, you would be like, God, that's so beautiful. It almost looks like Brian Froud, actually. It's like very, very beautiful.
They're very large and stylized and a little drippy, and like there's like also like a bit of like a pre-stage too. Like they look so fucking cool. I'm so glad it finally has like availability.
Also, the theatrical release poster for You Poster Head is really good.
Oh, I want to see it. I've seen the Japanese one. I'm trying.
That's what I'm looking at. It's like the painted one with like the blue and green mushroom.
Yeah, like the blue and green mushroom. People just kind of like going whoosh with their hands. Yeah. I'm trying to.
It's on the Wikipedia page for it.
Yes, that one I have up and I can see. But I'm trying to see if there was at any point an American release poster, and
it would have been called Attack of the Mushroom People.
I know. I'm searching for Attack of the Mushroom People, and I can't find it. I'm finding Italian posters billed as Matango il Mostro, which make it look like Swamp Thing or a zombie movie.
Of course.
And all the like non-mushroom characters on the poster are white.
Yeah,
which is different. And I'm finding like Thai posters for it. That's crazy. That movie fucking rocks.
It also has a trope that I realized I haven't talked about on the show that I love, which is that it has the movie starts with a man who's sitting on the bed from the back, and he's in Tokyo, and you see the lights of Tokyo in front of him, and doctors are asking him questions, so you realize that he's in like a mental institution and they don't believe what he's about to tell them. He's narrating the story from a mental institution. And you have that in like Messiah of Evil and kind of Let's Scare Jessica to Death and a whole bunch. I am a sucker for that.
Equinox has that too.
Yes, yeah.
I love Equinox. We should do Equinox someday. Equinox is like a great monster movie. Matango also reminds me of another great 60s or maybe 70s Japanese horror movie that you would really love if you haven't seen it, called Goke, Body Snatcher from Hell.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's Goke. It's also on Criterion. They put it out in like a box set a few years ago of like weird horror titles from Japan. And it's about a bunch of people that are on an airplane, going from point A to point B, and the airplane crashes, and they're like trying to like survive a plane crash, and a lot of people are dead, and they got to figure out what's going on. And one guy like walks out to see if he can find them food in this like arid landscape where they've landed, and finds a flying saucer like sat down that's like glowing, and a monster like cracks into his skull and leaves like a vaginal crease in his forehead and like takes him over. And it has some of the most insane visuals you will ever see. It has a fucking psychotic ending. It's so good.
Yeah.
And
it sounds so good.
The like B-roll of the like miniature airplane flying at the beginning of the movie was like stolen and like used in Kill Bill, which he flies to Japan in Kill Bill. It's the shot from Goke. It's so cool. I love
that shot. It's
like all orange and like really stylized. That's just like he just licensed it from Goke and just used the miniature shot. It's so fucking good. Highly recommended if you want some more good Japanese stylish weirdo horror on the Criterion Channel this holiday season.
I just watched Kill Bill Part 1 with Joel like a year ago because he hadn't seen it. And he didn't really like it, to be honest. And he's like, I don't really get it. And at the end, he was like, so she's just flying with her samurai sword at her side? And I was like, I'm breaking up with you. I was so annoyed. What like an annoying detail to pay attention to.
I mean, calm down.
It's such a good movie. Ugh.
Even me, who's the most like Tarantino's a douchebag kind of person, like
He is a douchebag. He's also really good at making
he's
movies.
also really good at making
His
movies, and
movies
he's
are
also
good.
really good at restoring movie theaters in Los Angeles, and I love
Yeah.
going to them. So,
Yeah.
as for all of my like occasional faults with the man, no, his movies are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Kill Bill and
Rules.
Glorious Bastards and Jackie Brown are like untouchable.
I
I'm
love
so
Jackie Brown
sorry.
as a middle-aged person now, especially it hits
Oh yeah,
different.
Jackie Brown was one that
Really.
like when I was growing up, I was always like, I guess I like it. I guess it's fine. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's the best one.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like there's a sadness about that one that's not in the other ones that is really good.
yeah, and like the like heist and like grift in the movie is very subtle and very small, but like as someone in going into my 30s and for characters that are in their like 40s and 50s, I'm like
Yeah.
that's tense for them. Like
Yeah.
that's high
I
stakes.
I also think the other one that's really underrated is Death Proof. And when you watch it by itself, unedited, it's really good. I think
It's a
it's
good
actually,
hangout movie.
it kind of suffered from the Grindhouse format because it,
Yeah, coming off the Tales of Planet Terror, you
yeah,
are not in the mood for that movie.
yeah. It's really good.
It
Anyway,
is.
speaking
Anyway,
of good movies, we are continuing our month-long deep dive on Universal horror.
and this time we dive very deep.
Literally diving. Well, actually, not literally. We're quite dry. This is the baby of the bunch. It is from 1954. It is directed by Jack Arnold. It is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Science couldn't explain it, but there it was, alive in the deep, deep waters of the Amazon. A throwback to a creature that had existed 100 million years ago, immensely strong and destructive. A woman's beauty, the bait that brought it out of its lair. See underwater thrills never photographed before. See titanic underwater battles never dreamed of before in this most terrifying of the science fiction adventures.
Previously, I'd said this was my favorite. It always was when I was a kid. I haven't seen any of these movies in 20 plus years. I had an interesting experience watching this now because it is no longer my favorite. I much prefer Dracula and the Old Dark House to this, although I enjoyed this very much. But
The Count has retaken his throne, I see.
Yeah. Well, people's tastes change. People, it's been a long time. I understand in retrospect why this was my favorite then. I think it's the most contemporary because it is more contemporary than the other ones. It's 20 years later.
It's not gothic.
It's not gothic.
It's not a period film like all the prior Universal films are.
Right. It has more quote unquote modern filmmaking techniques. It has more edits, more variety of shots. It has crane shots. It has underwater cinematography. It has the beats, more of the beats of what you would recognize as a contemporary horror film. So it just, at that time in my life, I had seen fewer movies and my taste was more commercial. And so
But
this
also
is
20 years ago you were a child. You were all of 8 years old. So I can make sense. It makes
that's
sense
so
that
sweet of you.
something
That's
like
so sweet
this
of you.
is much more like kid friendly and it's more like an action adventure kind of story.
In fact, 20 years ago, I was 24. But to be honest, it's actually probably been like 30 years since I've seen this movie. So I was a teenager.
Yeah.
And when I was a teenager, I didn't watch movies that were older really than the 1980s.
Mhm.
And except occasionally, because I was like, I wanted to be a completionist of horror. And so maybe I would watch something from the 50s. So yeah, I mean, this would have been more comfortable for me as somebody who was not well watched than something from the 30s, which is like a very different thing for anybody.
Yeah.
I also was thinking a lot about horror from the 50s, which we don't cover a lot on the show because, at least in the States, it is not that arty generally. You're getting a lot of like atomic horror, like kind of Cold War horror. It's very schlocky in a way that makes it hard for us to cover. Sometimes it's very campy. It can be very moralizing. And this is very moralizing in a lot of ways. And in fact, these movies are mostly not art house movies, and it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it's our show; no one's paying us; we can do whatever we want. But I don't know. I'm just like thinking through the things that I was thinking about while rewatching this movie. So
yeah, this is like a big popcorn movie. This is a kids rowdy in the theater kind of movie.
Yeah.
In the way that like, the early like James Whale, Todd Browning films like were also released as mainstream hits, but they were angled at more of an adult audience.
Yeah.
In the early 30s. And then when they were re-released, they played more to a younger audience. And then that got later stuff going. That's kind of what created the legacy of the Universal Monsters. But like those movies then by the like 70s and 80s build up a reputation as being repertory in like art house movies for the filmmaking style and gothic aesthetic and stuff like that. And a movie like this, which is like a creature and it's in the third dimension, like mostly always angled at like, baby boomer nostalgists and like kid friendly stuff like that. But it kind of like snuck in the back door to join the like ranks of the Universal Monsters, even though he doesn't fit in next to the rest of them in so many ways.
Thank you. I was actually trying to get there. And I forgot. My point in all of that was going to say, like, I would actually make an argument that this does not belong with the classic Universal Monsters.
Really, The Creature in the Black Lagoon fits more so in the 1950s Atomic Monster range, which it's directed by Jack Arnold. That was his whole bag. He made Tarantula. He made Incredible Shrinking Man, which we will eventually do Incredible Shrinking Man because that is 1,000% an art film. He made It Came from Outer Space, Monster on the Campus. Like so interestingly, I have 2 big box sets in my house on top of all the others. But for this conversation, I have 2 big box sets. One is the Universal Classic Monster set with Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Phantom of the Opera, all their sequels. And it includes Creature in the Black Lagoon. And then I have another one from Universal that's like the Universal Sci-Fi Horror Collection. And it's all the 50s ones. It's Tarantula and all the
Day
like,
the Earth Stood Still.
Well, that's Fox. That's a different. But like, but it's all of those movies that are like the Cold War kind of. Incredible Shrinking Man, the Monolith Monsters, Dr. Cyclops, the Leech Woman, like these are the movies that like the Mole People, that Creature in the Black Lagoon was made in the same run as, and Creature in the Black Lagoon belongs with these, but because it was such a big hit, and it like theatrically, and at the same time they were re-releasing a lot of the 30s classics like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy. They were re-releasing those back into theaters. Creature was playing in theaters in 54 and made fucking like buku bucks. That by the time those got syndicated on television in the late 50s and into the 60s, that was presented as like a TV package. So Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, and The Creature of the Black Lagoon were like a TV package that would like syndicate and play like that, which is why come the 80s when they do the Monster Squad, the Gill Man is there, and then come the 90s when they're having like Pepsi and Blockbuster tie-ins, he's part of the crew, and now he's just locked in forever, even though he technically doesn't fit.
I've been thinking about the Monster Squad so much this month. It's so funny that you bring that up. I was thinking about that during Creature from the Black Lagoon because in the 80s, when I was a little boy, there was so much nostalgia for 50s horror.
Mm-hmm.
And these aesthetics, these Creature from the Black Lagoon-ish aesthetics, 50s sci-fi horror aesthetics.
Night of the Creeps does it too with the
Yeah,
blob
they
opening.
weaved their way into everything that was very popular in like music videos on MTV in the 1980s, in commercials, in like pop advertising. It just was like omnipresent throughout the 1980s in a way that I kind of have still fatigue from because I didn't live through that time. I only experienced it through the lens of the 80s. And so I feel similarly now. I mean, I imagine that people, and I've heard this from people that are younger than me, about the 80s and 80s nostalgia. It's just like we've been in 80s nostalgia for so long that it's like I've had enough. Like I've had a belly full of 80s nostalgia.
You couldn't take another Stranger Things.
Yeah. No, please no. God.
You are fucking Mr. Creosote in The Meaning of Life. If you give Josh one episode of Stranger Things, he will burst.
Especially because I don't know, there's a phenomenon now where culture in some ways doesn't change as drastically as quickly
as it used to.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about this a little bit before, but like from 2000 to 2025, the aesthetics of culture haven't changed as drastically as they did from say 1950 to 1960 to 1970 to 1980 to 1990, which like every decade is so distinct visually. And so 1980 was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
When I was a kid in the 1980s, I wouldn't dream of watching something from the 1970s because it felt like it was 100 years ago. It felt like something from a foreign planet. Now, something from the 2010s doesn't look that different than something from now.
Exactly.
It's very strange.
I mean, the strangest thing for me has been going to Urban Outfitters, which was like the go-to place for chic kids who want to be different in the 2010s. Going to Urban Outfitters in now 2025 at the mall, and all the clothes there look like off the rack from 2002.
Yeah.
In a way that I'm like, oh, I guess there were like defined aesthetics at that point, and like the quote unquote Y2K aesthetic is starting to overtake the like 80s nostalgia. We kind of skipped the 90s in a way that fucking bums me out.
No, I don't think we did. I guess like the difference is that we wore skinny jeans in the 2010s and now we wear big jeans. I guess that's the only difference I can point out. But that's not that big of a difference.
Yeah. Like the 2010s had like a lot of the like, you know, long hair on top, shaved hair on the side, wear a skinny jean, wear a wide brim hat, like listen to Mumford and Sons, like layered style scarves, like
I guess it's not entirely the same. It's just you have to like kind of look a little bit harder.
You really have to look.
Aren't as clear.
It just feels like there's generally like a large chunk of gray on top that you have to like wade through and then be like, oh, okay, I guess there's this, and this.
Yeah.
But even within that, you could take Y2K aesthetic, 2020s aesthetic, and 2010s aesthetic and lump it into one thing, and you'd be like, yeah, those all fit together.
And those are also like fashionable people too. Like, but what about like normal, regular people? They are kind of going to look the same.
Well, I will also then say, I think generally, quote unquote, normal, regular people have looked the same since the 70s or 80s. Like
could be
blue
right.
jeans and a t-shirt, socks and shoes is mostly look the same. It's not until that we get to the late 80s, early 90s, especially the 90s, where you've got like brands like Skechers and Asics making the same brand of shoe consistently for like 30, 40 years, and people are wearing sneakers more so than they're wearing dress shoes, and like that it becomes a bit more like, oh, if you showed me a photo of like some dad from 1987 and you showed me some hipster at a party in 2024, I could be like, they're dressed the same. Like, so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. I love the opening of this movie. It's the same opening of your favorite movie, Baby Blood, where we go through the history of the creation of Earth and how man left the ocean and became man, which I love. I love that opening of a movie. The people in this movie talk about the Devonian era a lot, which I was like, is this real? I've never heard this term in my life. And it is.
It's the era that Devo came from. Like, that's when Mark Mothersbaugh ruled the world.
Yes. The history is split into two eras: pre-Devo, post-Devo. No, the Devonian era is the era when life left the oceans. So I don't think that's really referenced that much in movies, but in this movie, that's when the Gill Man came out of the ocean and just stayed that way.
Well, there's a lot of talk in, like, you know, pop science circles about the missing link, the link between man and beast. What could it be?
But it's never at that moment. It's very rarely like he walked out of the ocean. You know what I mean?
It's usually like Sasquatch.
A monkey. Yeah.
It's usually like the Yeti, the missing link. It's never like a Gilman. And like,
my assumption though was that they like made up that term, and they didn't.
No, they did not. In fact, they didn't. I don't think the Universal Story Department was that creative come 1953, 1954. I mean, finding out that the like genesis of this movie was that a Universal executive was at a party in the 40s at which famed Mexican cinematographer Gabriel Figueroa told him a story about a half man, half fish in the Amazon rainforest that's very amorous and likes to sleep with women. And he was like, wow, that's a crazy thing. And then 10 years later, he was an exec at Universal, and he's like, you should make that.
I mean, it's not wrong. It's a great movie idea.
The idea of like being told a like crazy folk story at a party and then being like, I'm going to say, but then, you know, they're making movies about giant ants and stuff like that. And he's like, what about a fish that fucks people? We'll win Best Picture for it. No, you're 60 years too early.
This movie follows a hot scientist couple who are in the Amazon, and I don't know, you know the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Do we really have to go through this? It's a bunch of scientists that are in the Amazon, and they find evidence of a a gill man, and sure enough, there's a gill man, and he falls in love with a woman and tries to take her, and they kill him, and that's the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I mean, it's also King Kong.
It's also King Kong. It's any number of movies.
Yeah.
What I love about this movie is the fashion. You have Kay, the only woman who has brought 100 outfits to the Amazon. Thank goodness. I don't know why or how she's changed clothes so many times in this movie. I don't know why or how her hair is always set, including after a swim. She looks fantastic. I deeply love her. But then also you have these two hot men that their rivalry with one another looks very homoerotic.
Oh, yeah.
And also they have great swimwear, men's swimwear from this era. I deeply love. It's high-waisted.
It's a lot of like
belted
men in like black high-waisted trunks and nothing else with their big, broad, greased chests. Like, it's a very homoerotic movie. Again, like the one, and then the kind of like older tanned like boat captain who just wants to go home and is like a little drunk, but also like he's got the nice like striped shirt that's always like open. Like every man is showing their chest this whole movie. And then Julie Adams' Kay has her like female explorer look, so her hair is up and back and she's got her like button down like cargo shirts tucked into high-waisted pants. Like
one thing, since we've been talking about fashion so much, that I appreciate about this movie and about fashion of the 2020s is that men's shorts have gotten shorter. And so the inseams are like 5 or 6 inches long. most of my life since like 90s onwards, they've been really long inseams on men, and it sucks. And so I like that the inseams of these shorts are like 5 inches. They're like high-waisted, belted, and then they're like 5-inch inseams. So you get a lot of thigh and a lot of leg, and it's really handsome.
It's the ideal.
Men. And now whenever I see men with long shorts, I'm like, I don't even know where you bought those, because no designer is making them. Like, you cannot find a short.
Goes out of here.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where you bought those. Literally no designer is making shorts that are longer than like a 7-inch inseam. Thank God.
So this is a tangent from speaking about the fashions of this movie, because this is a part of that. But I have a background to this movie that I need to bring up, because of the two of us, I am the only certified rescue diver.
That's not true.
Is that incorrect?
No, it is true. No, it is true.
Okay, I was going to say.
I was like...
Yeah, it turns out I'm not. My father was a scuba instructor. I was like forced into getting my scuba license the moment I turned 10.
My dad has a scuba license though, so I do know a bit about it.
But I was scuba diving constantly as a child and as a teenager, and frequently going on trips with my father. And because it was like a thing my dad did as a child, anything that was like underwater or scuba adjacent, I was like enamored with, because like I wanted to know more about that, and I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. It's also a very like 50s, like mid-century thing. Like, people aren't into scuba diving as much as like baby boomers are into scuba diving. As my father's generation are into scuba diving, because it was very new at the time.
Yeah.
It's a leisure sport. It's very expensive, and you just kind of like float around.
Well, also you could die pretty easily.
Well,
right?
you could, if you don't know what you're doing. That's why you get trained and certified. But it's so, I love watching stuff like this, that on top of the immaculate and gorgeous underwater photography, you get so much of like old swimwear. I love anything that's like, you know, an old kind of like Scooby-Doo, like diver's helmet kind of thing, which is not the aesthetic of this movie, but I love that kind of stuff. But this is the like in between 1950s one, where they've got the little one mask and then the like respirator that goes off in both directions that's like corrugated, and it goes out to the 2 tiny tanks on their back. And every single time they dive in this movie, they're wearing their trunks, nothing else. And then
it would have been so cold.
Like, I know it's the Amazon, I know it's South America, but it's going to be freezing in that water. That's why there's not a long inseam on those shorts, because it is cold in there. It like, you have to have the men looking hunky while they're diving. No wetsuits, please. Do not stay warm. We want to see those muscles rippling underwater. But they've got their little flippers.
It is hot.
I also like, I love the look of the 2 small like air tanks on the back. Now it's one big fucking tank.
Big one.
Because you need to be able to stay down for like 2 hours at a time. But like, this was the first Universal Monster movie I saw as a kid because of that aspect. I like had heard about it, I'd seen clips on TV, and I like sought it out and rented it from the library as a kid because I knew my dad scuba dived and I wanted to see underwater stuff. And all the underwater photography scared me so much, because it's deep and dark and black and murky, and it's hard to get like a handle on where things are. And the gill man is so scary underwater.
I don't find that to be the case.
Not now. Now. But as a kid, and you get those first looks of him like looking up and like gaping his mouth, I thought that was terrifying. I watched this movie on like a little TV VCR in my bedroom on the floor on like a Saturday morning. And when I would get too scared, the covers would go over my head.
Do you know what did make me
whenever they were on land or on the boat, I would be fine. But whenever they were underwater, I was so terrified.
Do you know what did make me a little bit nervous even this time is like, I am deeply afraid of the Amazon. And I actually am. I really like movies that are set in the Amazon.
You like when they just like pave it down. You're like, get those bulldozers
get rid of it.
It's terrifying. We don't know what's in there.
No.
Put it up a
don't do
parking
that
lot.
to me. I am afraid of it. I want it there though. As long as it's there, I'm here. I'm good. But I like movies that are set there because I do find it very frightening.
So you're a fan of Disney's Jungle Cruise, the movie starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
I've never seen it, but I'm scared of like even Anaconda. I find very scary.
Yeah, I get
so
that.
I'm nervous. What I was going to say is I'm nervous when Kay goes swimming. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Are you insane? There's piranha in there. There's hippos in there. There's crocodiles. By the way, I don't know if any of these animals live in the Amazon
Most
or
of
not.
them, no.
If they're like African or what. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what lives where. I'm not a scientist, but it's like, I know that the Amazon is full of things that kill you. And she just blithely puts on a one piece and jumps in like it's nothing.
I'll go one step further. They filmed a lot of the underwater stuff in this movie. And a lot of the like on the water stuff in this movie in Florida, and even then, you don't know what's in there in Florida. You don't want to get in that. You don't want no part of that shit.
But one thing that's crazy is this movie is filmed in California. Yep. Everything that's above the water is filmed in California. Everything that's below the water is filmed in Florida. Why? You can't film below the water in California?
The reason is that the water here in California is murkier. It's a lot clearer in Florida. And at the time, Universal didn't have a tank on the soundstage doing it. Famously, the Pacific Ocean is a lot murkier than the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Especially coastally. The clearest waters in the world supposedly are in the Caribbean in the ABC Islands. So if you go to like Curacao or Bonaire, you'll get like the clearest water. It's the best place to dive. I've gone to those islands so many times. Don't go to Aruba. That's where women got kidnapped in the 2000s.
Yikes.
I remember like as a kid going to like Bonaire and Curacao, and they're like, the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, and every like time I would get back on the news, there'd be like another woman abducted in Aruba, and I was like, okay. We just go to Bonaire. It's really small. It's very cute. It's all Dutch, like Dutch-owned South American colonies.
I don't know which Caribbean islands are like homophobic or not. That's my only concern with the Caribbean islands.
I don't know. That wasn't a thing that I had to deal with at the time.
Right. It's worth looking into if you're
worth looking into and traveling. I will say Curacao and Bonaire, delightful. You stay at a resort. You can stay at Harry Belafonte's hotel in Bonaire. Ooh. It's very chic. It's very nice.
Big fan of his daughter Sherry.
I saw Fight Club there for the first time on a dive trip.
My dad got really into scuba diving in the 90s and became, licensed, I guess you call it. And he did it for like 5 years, was really into it. But I grew up on the Puget Sound in Washington State, which is like very cold and very brackish. It's like ink. It's like, what are you even doing down there? Not to mention, it's one of the only places in the world that has the giant octopus.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very aggressive and like attacks canoes and shit. Like, I'm not going down there. Are you out of your mind? I don't want to go down there.
I mean, it should also be noted, I grew up in Indiana,
Right, where are you going scuba diving? In a river, a lake?
Literally in reservoirs and like man-made reservoirs, and you'd like go down there and there would be like a shopping cart, a Buick, a barber chair. Like people will just dump shit down there, and that's where you learn to swim, or you learn to swim in a pool. But like because my dad was an instructor, his company that he worked for that taught people how to dive would like send him on dive trips to Mexico or to South America or to the Caribbean for free, and he had a hotel room and he could get like 2 extra plane tickets for like me or my brother or something like that. My mother never went with us. She had her scuba license, but very quickly was like, I'm done. I don't care. Enough of this shit. And plus they would always get into fights when they would dive together because my dad was very controlling. Anyway, I never enjoyed it. as like a kid, I never wanted to do it. And then as a teenager, I would like never want to go on a dive trip. I never wanted to leave my friends. I never wanted to leave like Indiana for the summer. And then I would get down there and I would take a bunch of movies on a laptop. And I'd be like, I'm just going to watch movies in the hotel room. Fuck it. I'm just going to read like Kerouac by the beach. And then I would do a 2-tank dive in the morning and then one after lunch. And I'd be like, it was fucking great though. Like, it's
That's so
kind of
nice.
awesome.
God,
To take like a
teenagers are
boat
the
out,
worst.
to take a fucking boat out at like 7 a.m. and to have like a 2-tank dive means that you have 2 tanks. So you have one tank, like the back of the boat is like lined with tanks, and you like strap your BCD to one, and then you like go off the back of the boat and you swim for like down for like an hour, and then you get low on air and you come back up, you take your tank off, and then when everyone gets back on the boat, you go to a different spot, you put your second tank on, you go down. And we would do like wreck dives. You go to like 100, 200 feet down, and like swim through like sunken ships, like, and then like you come back up, and then you have like Laffy Taffy and clementines to get the salt water out of your mouth, and you go back, and then you have a fucking buffet prepared for lunch, and then you take a nap, and then you go back out at 2 p.m. for another dive, and then night dives. Oh my god, Josh, have you ever heard of a night dive?
I've heard of them, yeah.
They're so goddamn fun. I'm trying to convince all my friends to do night dives, because if you like going to Halloween Horror Nights, if you like going to like any of those like scare attractions in Los Angeles, let me tell you, on a night dive, you get in all your scuba gear, you go by yourself off a pier, underwater at night. It is pitch black. And you have a single like light that you have in your hand that you point around like a gun, essentially, and it is a single beam, and you can only see what's in that single beam in front of you. And you have to like use it to check your like instruments to make sure you have enough air, and to check your clock to make sure like you have enough time to get back and stuff like that. And also different sea life comes out at night. That it is like photosensitive, so like you can like different kinds of eels and like kind of like slightly creep, not like anglerfish, they live so far down you're never gonna get to see an anglerfish, but like weirder things like that come out at night, and so it's like genuinely fucking creepy. It's super fun, and I love it. I love a night dive.
I went on vacation to Tulum, where they have all these cenotes, which are like these like lagoon swimming holes, and a lot of them are inside of caves.
Oh, I don't fuck with cave diving. I don't fuck with cave diving.
It's creepy. Well, you're snorkeling, so it's not like scuba diving, and you have on like floaties, and you're in a wetsuit, so you're not cold. But it's pitch dark, and you don't know how deep it goes because you're floating. Yeah, and you have one little light. It's really weird and creepy too. It's cool.
I really like stuff like that. I find that like very creepy and unnerving in a way that like there is actual like danger and fear to it, but like you're in control and you can take care of yourself, and you can just not go that far from the dock, or you can just like turn back around. But like also when it's pitch black and you're underwater, it's really hard to figure out which way is up, which way is down, which way is north, which way is south. And again, you have the one light source, so if you need to check your instrument to see which way is back to the dock, how much air do you have to take your light source down and look at your instrument, which means you can't see if anything's coming at you or anything's near you. It's precarious. It's very fun. Every time I tell friends about it, they're like, you could never pay me.
There is a remake of this in development. James Wan is set to direct. There has been a number of canceled remakes that were going to happen and then didn't.
Guillermo del Toro tried to remake it. They told him no, and so he just did it himself and won an Oscar.
Yeah, so here's like a list. John Landis in 1982 was going to do a remake and then didn't. John Carpenter in 1992 was going to do a remake and then didn't.
That would have been good, though.
Peter Jackson was going to do one. Ivan Reitman was going to do one and then made The Mummy instead. And then Guillermo
Ivan Reitman didn't make The Mummy.
Huh?
Ivan Reitman didn't make a Mummy movie.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading too fast. With the financial success of the Mummy remake in 1999,
Got
he
it.
was in development of so
Got it.
that's my bad. Sorry. So he was going to do one and didn't. And then you mentioned Guillermo del Toro. So there's been a lot of talk about a remake over the years, and it's never happened. We'll see if this one does. But
really interesting when you list off that slate of directors.
Those are huge directors.
Huge directors. However, the pattern there is interesting because it keeps oscillating between comedy directors and horror directors.
Mm-hmm.
Landis, of course, like has blended that before with American Werewolf.
And done well. Yeah,
and done well. And he was friends with Jack Arnold, the director of Creature in the Black Lagoon. Jack Arnold is in like Into the Night and some of Landis's 80s movies because Landis's whole thing was he had cameos by like big directors. I could see Carpenter doing it really well, but Ivan Reitman is also a comedy director. Like, again, Ghostbusters being a big thing, but like...
I'm not an Ivan Reitman fan, to be honest.
You don't like Twins?
I don't.
Or Junior? No. I like, Meatballs. I like his early movies.
Not a fan.
You don't like Ivan Reitman's produced films like Rabid and Shivers?
I like those movies. James Wan is probably a good person for this.
I don't like James Wan.
I mean, he's a mixed bag, but the take is quote unquote grounded, so that can mean any number of things.
It could be bad. Listen, what do you mean grounded? It's the fucking Creature in the Black Lagoon. What are you talking about? Also, you made Aquaman. Shut up. Grounded. Yeah. Malignant. Grounded. Go to hell.
Let's play our favorite game, Have They Seen It? The game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. This person just jumped into my mind out of the clear blue sky. I have no idea why I thought of her. I'm thinking about the comedian Tiffany Haddish. I don't know why.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. Tiffany Haddish has seen it.
She's a woman, and I think she's in her 40s, right?
Yeah.
And so that's a good long life.
Well, again, being like, Universal Monster staple, like cozy black and white kind of spooky horror thing. And again, like every year these pop up on like Shudder and Peacock and stuff like that, on top of like playing on TV. And in the 90s, like the videotapes of these were so popular.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she saw it as a kid or has like
on TV,
had it on TV, like in the Halloween season. I'm thinking of another deep sea underwater scuba diving related thing. And that is maybe the best underwater movie of all time. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
That's my least favorite Wes Anderson movie.
Oh, honey, you're so wrong.
No, I'm not. But go on.
No, it's like the best. Sorry, I have like neglectful dad issues, and my neglectful dad was a scuba instructor, so I love that movie. Well, my the best part of that movie is, of course, Willem Dafoe playing a little German man. Do you think Willem Dafoe has seen The Creature in the Black Lagoon?
Would it be weird to say no?
I mean, I could see that. Willem Dafoe has very arty taste.
He's a weird guy. And it would be like very weird if he hadn't seen it, which feels right.
I could see pitching maybe in the 2000s. It could be now, but definitely in the 2000s, remaking Creature of the Black Lagoon and being like, Willem Dafoe is the Creature of the Black Lagoon. I'd be like, sure.
I think it would be funny if Willem Dafoe not only had never seen it, but if you're like, hey, have you ever seen Creature from the Black Lagoon? He's like, no, I've never heard of that.
No, I've never been there. Yeah. I've never been there. There's a creature.
He's just so weird. And I just want to make the weirdest choice on his behalf, I think.
I could also see him being like, no, I haven't seen the film Creature in the Black Lagoon, but I have seen an adaptation of the Creature of the Black Lagoon by the Wooster Group on stage. It was four people like flopping around in bodysuits.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate the Wooster Group. That's my favorite thing about not living in New York anymore is I never have to see the Wooster Group again. That
But
and Dia Beacon, which is like the sculpture museum in upstate New York. It's like, I love art passionately, but for some reason I just like don't connect to sculptures very easily the way that I do paintings, especially like minimalist modern sculptures. So it's like, I don't want to go to Dia Beacon.
You're not a Delia Dietz fan.
Yeah. No, I am a Delia Dietz. I like her sculptures, actually.
I mean, I like the Wooster Group. I mean, they gave us Spalding Gray. They gave us Willem Dafoe. I like experimental weird theater. Like,
I've seen a lot of it. Believe you me, I
sure
do like
you
it
have.
from time to time, but not theirs. Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
Another person just out of the clear blue sky, Catherine O'Hara.
Speaking of Delia Dietz.
Yeah. That's why.
You know what I'm going to say? I think Catherine O'Hara has seen Curse of the Black Lagoon. And on top of that, I'm going to say I think she's seen it a few times.
Yeah.
I think this is a movie she probably saw in the 50s. And then saw again on like Canadian TV a few times growing up. But also keep in mind, she's married to Bo Welch, the production designer.
Yes.
I'm sure
he's a big fan for sure.
I'm sure he's a big Universal Monster fan.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that kind of work without loving these kinds of movies. I'm sure it's not Bo Welch's favorite Universal Monster. I'm sure he prefers the Gothic ones, but like,
yeah.
I have a feeling Catherine O'Hara has also watched this like with her kids and stuff like that. Like,
I wish I'd met him working on A Series of Unfortunate Events. I never met him.
Oh yeah.
But he's so smart and cool.
Did you get to meet her working on it?
No, because she's not in any of my episodes.
Yeah, because she was mostly in season 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
No, she was in season. Oh yeah, no, it was season 1. I forgot how they split.
She's in season. She comes back in season 3, right at the very end. But
yeah, everyone comes back for that hotel, for that penultimate peril.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the hospital in my episodes, he was inspired. His inspiration was like Soviet hospitals, which I think is so cool. So I got to see all the mood boards of like 1950s and 60s Soviet hospitals.
He's so awesome. And I'm so glad he still works as a production designer. I wish it was the heyday of the 90s and 2000s where he was working all the time.
Well, he's booked and busy.
Okay, good.
That Apple musical show with Barry Sonnenfeld.
Schmigadoon?
Schmigadoon was him.
Which has been over for 4 years.
I guess that's right. He's rich as hell, though. I mean,
I know. Schmigadoon was great, and the production design was gorgeous. Yeah. It's a shame that the one time Bo Welch directed a movie, it was The Cat in the Hat.
Yeah.
I wish he had done anything else. It's unfortunate. They should let him do another movie again. I doubt they will. So... Creature of the Black Lagoon. This is a movie about conservation, and it's a very anti-capitalist movie. It is pro leave nature alone, and also it is a classic 3D spectacle film. It was released in 3D. It was reissued in the 70s in 3D. Now the Blu-rays have the like modern 3D version. I got to see this at the New Bev earlier this year or last year in 3D. The original 3D looks like shit.
Yeah, I was like, does it even work? It seems like it was such a short-lived thing.
I think I saw the 1970s like red and blue version. So I don't know about the 50s version. It's rough. It's not great. But there is a man who loves underwater exploration, purports to be an environmental conservationist, and brought 3D back in a big way. Do you think that James Cameron, hypocrite that he is, who claims to care about the ocean and about the world, but is a big AI guru, do you think he has seen Creature in the Black Lagoon? And do you think Creature in the Black Lagoon had any influence on Avatar?
It's got to be yes to both, right?
It's got to be. He's of an age too that like this has to be like one of his favorite movies, right?
And I've got to believe it is.
I've got to believe it is. My theory behind Del Toro winning Best Director, Best Picture for Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Which is amazing, and we have covered on the
Incredible
show.
movie. Yeah.
My theory behind that is that all of those like baby boomer like monster kids
Yeah.
that grew up in like the 40s and 50s and 60s are now old white men who work in the film industry. Every single one of them now
They're all in the academy.
are all in the academy. And so like getting to see their favorite monster be like prestigious and finally have sex.
Yeah.
They were all like
But also Gary, why can't I say his
Yeah.
name?
Gary Deacon.
Del Toro does take the raw elements of this story and does, sorry to use this term, elevate it into something
Significantly.
much more
He changes it so much. It is no longer the like white colonialists going into the jungle like King Kong trope, which that has always to me given, because King Kong and this is always like, we're going into the farther reaches of the jungle and we're going to bring one white woman, and then we're going to get so mad when this like native creature or person starts to fall for the white woman. It always feels like, you know, anti like miscegenation kind of like narratives. And I love The Shape of Water for what it does with that.
God, The Shape of Water is so
Really
good.
fixes
Although
a lot
I
of
do
issues.
love anything that's set in Skull Island. I'm there. I fucking love Skull Island. Like, I'm a sucker for those stories, especially the movie Skull Island. I am all about that movie. I'm such a dum-dum for that shit.
The like big bugs in King Kong.
Big bugs in King Kong. I love Peter Jackson's King Kong. I love that movie.
Really good.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill. That is his last good movie.
Agree.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Well, there's a couple more weeks of October, which means a couple of more weeks of our Universal rewatch. So stick with us.
Mm-hmm.
But first, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Bloodhaus. Please rate it 5 stars wherever you listen to this podcast. You can follow us on Instagram or Letterboxd. Drusilla, where can people follow you?
You can find me and my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. I've got a bunch of new art up there for stuff that's coming out, like Lazarus over on Amazon Prime, and The Carpenter's Son, a new horror film with F.K. Twigs and Nicolas Cage, which comes out in November. You can also follow me on Instagram at sisterhide, and Letterboxd if you look for Drusilla Adeline or Sister Hyde. You can track all of the Hammer stuff that my girlfriend and I have been watching through the season. What about you, Josh? How can people swim into your online sphere?
Currently, I am really just on Letterboxd at Joshua Conkel. I'm technically on Instagram, but I've gone private, so I'm gradually like getting off of social media, which I think is such a toxic waste dump.
Fair.
So, Universal continues. We're doing a double feature next week, which is very exciting.
Yes, there are so many great Universal Monster movies. We unfortunately aren't going to be able to fit them all into the month, but we are doing our best to cram them in. So the next 2 weeks will be double features to cap off the month, and we are going to go very literary for these next two. We are once again eschewing, like much like last week, we're going to eschew some of the more classic tropes. We're not going for the Monster Squad stuff entirely. We're not going for the like 90s video store ones. We are doing 2 adaptations of Edgar Allan Poe, both starring Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. These are 2 of the weirder entries into the Universal catalog, and these are some absolute gems. We will be watching The Black Cat and The Raven.
Stoked. Can't wait. See you next week. Bye.